What if you woke up tomorrow and the internet was gone? No Wi-Fi, no Google, no Netflix, no TikTok, no OnlyFans. Not even memes to cry about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are offline. This isn't just a blackout. This is the collapse of civilization as we know it. This is the year without internet, the digital apocalypse. In the days that follow, chaos begins to unfold. Friends try to connect in person, but conversations are awkward and stilted, filled with long pauses as they struggle for topics. People wander the streets lost without their digital companions, facing an unfamiliar world that once felt so small and accessible. As days turn into weeks, families begin to reconnect through board games and storytelling, rediscovering what life was like before screens dominated their lives. Yet outside, panic ensues as the lack of information fuels fear and uncertainty, leading to protests and gatherings where people attempt to find answers in this new reality. It starts with a sudden solar storm that devastates the digital landscape, frying satellites and cutting cables. In an instant, communication networks fall like dominoes, leaving giants like Google and Amazon silent, with Bitcoin rendered useless and Netflix displaying nothing but a black screen. Billions vanish from the economy within seconds as Wall Street experiences its most significant crash to date. In the wake of chaos, governments declare cyber martial law, signaling the death of the digital world. In the aftermath, chaos reigns as a group of panicked citizens gather in makeshift shelters, illuminated only by flickering candles, exchanging worried glances. Outside, deserted streets are lined with abandoned cars and protesters demanding answers, their graffiti echoing the outrage of a society grappling with the collapse of the digital age. The day influencers cried began when TikTok stars started filming dances. For no one, YouTubers talked to their cameras, praying someone still existed. Instagram models began printing selfies to hand out on the street, lamenting, "How will people know I had avocado toast this morning? You miss your memes too bad. You'll have to describe them, out loud." As the day wore on, a gathering of influencers stood in a circle, each holding signs with hashtags that faded into obscurity. Their expressions reflected the reality that their digital voices were unheard. Nearby, an Instagram model sat on a park bench, staring at her phone with tears streaming down her face, scrolling through an empty feed filled with outdated posts. Imagine a world where everyday life has crumbled into chaos. No more Google Maps, and people wander lost even in their familiar neighborhoods. The grocery stores struggle to process payments as debit cards are rendered useless, and cash suddenly makes a comeback like it's 1995. With Spotify gone, friends gather to blow the dust off their old CDs, reminiscing about their favorite tunes, while children find joy in books, and adults rediscover the art of eye contact and real conversation. Zoom has become obsolete, and suddenly fax machines rise from the ashes, bringing back an era where paperwork ruled the day. In a nearby cafe, people embrace typewriters, savoring the comforting buzz of creativity, all while enjoying the simple pleasure of human interaction. The world finds itself in the midst of the entertainment wars. Families are forced to gather around their old TV antennas, experiencing shows together like never before, yet feeling the weight of shared boredom. In this new reality, gamers deprived of multiplayer options take their passion to the streets, engaging in fierce competitions over classic games where friendships are tested and chaos reigns. The first ever analog meme festival emerges, a quirky celebration where creativity and nostalgia collide as revelers embrace their favorite memes and unite under the playful glow of moonlight. As the entertainment wars unfold, communities start rediscovering the joy of togetherness through simple games, sparking laughter and connection in ways they had forgotten. The spirit of competition evolves into celebration, with towns hosting game nights and comedic performances that breathe new life into analog entertainment, reminding everyone of simpler times filled with joy. With no digital life, humans begin to evolve into new tribes. Emerging from this transformation, the Vanillians cherish their music purist ways, surrounding themselves with record players. Meanwhile, the mapwalkers navigate by the stars, pausing to admire the celestial beauty above. In this slower-paced world, people are conversing again, and time feels tangible, marked by the growing popularity of board games. As clear skies reign above, the only hints of the digital age linger in the background, where one solitary figure mindlessly scrolls through a frozen Reddit thread. In this newfound world, board game nights have become a cherished tradition, where laughter and conversation flow freely among friends. The human Googles adept at memorizing vast amounts of knowledge are celebrated for their impressive recall, often dazzling others with trivia. In this setting, memories and stories take precedence over screens, and the essence of genuine connection reigns supreme, fostering a community where everyone feels valued and understood. 1 year later, the satellites reboot the cables, reconnect, the internet returns. But here's the twist. Do we still want it? Will humanity go back to constant distraction, or have we learned something? Maybe the real Wi-Fi was the friends we made offline. In this new reality, a young woman contemplates the allure of her phone surrounded by a chaotic mess of notifications and alerts. Meanwhile, in a joyful park, children laugh as they play freely while adults connect meaningfully without screens in sight. An elderly man enjoys a serene moment observing his grandchildren at play, cherishing the simplicity of life as the sun sets. Close by, a steaming cup of coffee sits alongside an open book, inviting quiet reflection and connection to the present. The digital apocalypse wasn't the end. It was a mirror, a lesson, a reminder that sometimes the strongest connection is human connection. But also, thank God TikTok's back. If your mind just exploded, smash that like button, subscribe, and comment, "I'd survive the digital apocalypse if you're ready for offline life." Or, "I'd cry on day one if you're team Wi-Fi forever." In the aftermath of the digital chaos, people began to gather, sharing stories and laughter, realizing that their bonds were stronger than any screen. With the revival of platforms like TikTok, excitement surged as everyone rushed to reconnect with their favorite creators, merging the joy of technology with the warmth of human connection. As life resumed outside the digital realm, communities thrived, bustling with activity and shared experiences that brought a new sense of purpose. Elders shared wisdom while children rediscovered fun without screens, reinforcing the idea that genuine connections are irreplaceable.